The cameras were rolling, the music was loud, and the tension was unbearable. Nobody, absolutely nobody, saw it coming. One moment, Sierra was laughing at the bar, pretending to enjoy the night. The next, she was standing face to face with Mendeecees, her voice trembling with fury, a drink in her hand, and the entire room frozen in disbelief. Then, splash, liquid everywhere. Gasps echoed. Phones shot up in the air. People screamed. But this wasn't just a drink thrown in anger. No, this was the result of something far darker. Something whispered in a corner moments earlier by Erica herself. And whatever she said was enough to turn the entire night upside down. Witnesses claim Sierra's hands were shaking, her eyes wide. As she screamed words the producers are still scrambling to bleep out for TV. Some say. Erica revealed a betrayal so personal it could destroy more than one relationship. Others claim Mendeecees had been hiding a secret for months. A secret that Erica finally decided to spill. And while the drink dripping down, Mendeecees' designer jacket was the image burned into everyone's memory. The real bombshell was still hanging in the air, unspoken to the audience. For now, what exactly did Erica confess? Why did Sierra react like a woman possessed? And how did Mendeecees, usually so composed, suddenly look like he'd been caught in the biggest scandal of his life? You're about to find out, but be warned this. Story only gets messier from here. The bass from the speakers rattled through the floor. But inside Sierra's head, all she could hear was the echo of Erica's voice. That confession, that one sentence, was still pounding in her skull like a war drum. She had been standing by the VIP bar, her manicured fingers wrapped around a glass of sparkling rose, when Erica leaned in close. At first, Sierra thought it was just another petty jab. But then the words came, laced with venom and calculated precision. You know Mendeecees never told you what happened in Miami? With me? Sierra froze. Her perfectly glossed lips parted, and for a split second, she forgot where she was. The crowd, the cameras, the thump of the music hit all faded. Her mind flashed to every text, every look. Every time Mendeecees had dodged her questions about his so-called business trip. She had laughed it off back then, but now? With Erica's smug smile burning into her eyes, the puzzle pieces started snapping together. She tried to swallow the lump in her throat. What are you talking about? Sierra demanded, her voice sharp but shaky. Erica tilted her head, a slow smirk curling across her lips. Ask him yourself, she whispered, her tone dripping with the satisfaction of someone who knows they've just lit a fuse. And that was it. The match had been struck. Sierra felt her blood pressure spike as she turned toward the corner booth where Mendeecees was lounging like a man without a care in the world. He was deep in conversation with two producers, laughing, completely unaware that the ground beneath his feet was about to crack wide open. Her heels clicked against the floor as she stormed toward him, cutting through the crowd like a blade. People stepped aside, sensing the shift in energy. Even the DJ seemed to feel it, lowering the volume just enough for the tension to hum through the air. Mendeecees, she barked, her voice slicing through the chatter. Heads turned. Phones went up. Mendeecees glanced over, his smile faltering when he saw her expression. What's up, Sierra? He asked casually. But there was a flicker of something in his eyes, something that told her he knew exactly why she was there. You want to tell me what happened in Miami? She shot back, each word punctuated like a slap. His brow furrowed. Miami? What are you? Don't you dare play dumb with me? Sierra snapped, her voice rising. People nearby gasped, exchanging wide-eyed looks. He shifted uncomfortably, glancing toward Erica, who was now leaning against the bar, watching like a cat waiting to see the mouse squirm. Sierra stepped closer, close enough to smell his cologne. She told me everything, she hissed. And if you think you can sit here and laugh like nothing happened? That's when Mendeecees made the mistake of glancing away. That slight, nervous look toward Erica was all Sierra needed to confirm her worst suspicion. Her breath caught in her chest, and in that instant, she knew. "You disgust me," she said, her voice trembling with rage. Without breaking eye contact, she lifted her glass and flung the contents straight into his face. The splash was deafening in the silence that followed. Mendeecees recoiled, blinking through the liquid dripping down his cheeks. "Are you serious right now?" he shouted, jumping to his feet. "Oh, I'm dead serious," Sierra shot back. Her voice cracked, but she didn't care. Every eye in the room was on them now. A producer rushed forward, hands raised, trying to defuse the situation. But Sierra wasn't done. "You've been lying to me for months, making me feel like I'm crazy." "When all this time you were sneaking around with," she stopped herself, glancing toward Erica, who was smirking like she'd just won a bet. The room buzzed with whispers. Is she talking about Erica? Wait, did he cheat? It's what happened in Miami. Speculation spread like wildfire. Mendeecees' voice boomed over the chatter. "You don't even know what you're talking about. She's lying to you, Sierra." Erica chuckled under her breath, sipping her drink. "Oh, am I?" she called out, just loud enough for the crowd to hear. "You're pathetic," Sierra spat at Mendeecees. "And you?" She pointed at Erica, her finger shaking. "You're nothing but a snake." Erica shrugged, unbothered. Funny? Coming from someone who's been sitting on her own little secrets. The words hit Sierra like a slap. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Erica's smirk widened. "Ask your little friend in Atlanta. Or should I say friends?" The crowd erupted. Phones were recording from every angle. Hashtags were already forming in people's heads. Mendeecees stepped forward, his jaw tight. "You need to stop talking, Erica, right now." "Oh, so now you care about what gets out?" She shot back. "Where was that energy in Miami?" Sierra's face went pale, but her anger burned hotter. "You admit it then?" "You were with her." "I'm not admitting anything," Mendeecees barked. "This is all being twisted." "Oh, please," Erica scoffed, rolling her eyes. "You think I don't have the receipts?" The room froze. "What receipts?" Sierra demanded. Erica tapped her phone. "Messages, photos, audio. You want me to air it all out right here?" "Because I will." A murmur rippled through the crowd like a wave. Producers scrambled, trying to decide whether to shut it down or let it roll for maximum ratings. Sierra took a step back, her chest heaving. For a moment, she looked like she might cry. But then her expression hardened. "Do it," she dared Erica. "Let everyone see exactly what kind of man he is." Mendeecees ran a hand over his face, dripping rose still staining his shirt. "You don't know what you're asking for," he muttered. Double quotes. "Oh, I think I do," Sierra said, her voice low and dangerous. Erica unlocked her phone, her thumb hovering over the screen. "Last chance to come clean, Mendeecees." The crowd was dead silent now, every eye glued to him, and that's when a loud crash rang out behind them. A glass shattered on the floor, making everyone jump. Someone screamed. The distraction was just enough for Mendeecees to grab Erica's phone out of her hand, gasps, shouts. Erica lunged after him, but he held it out of reach. "You're not showing this to anyone," he barked. "You thief!" Erica screamed, clawing at his arm. Sierra stood frozen, watching the chaos unfold. All she could think was what on that phone was so bad he'd risk making a scene to hide it. Because if he was willing to fight this hard to keep it buried, it had to be worse than anyone imagined. And that's when Erica, red-faced and furious, yelled the words that made Sierra's stomach drop to the floor. "Fine, if he won't show you, I'll just tell you." The room felt like it was holding its breath. Erica's voice cut through the noise, each word sharp enough to draw blood. "You want to know why he doesn't want you to see that phone?" she taunted, her eyes locked on Sierra. "'Cause it's got proof he's been lying to both of us." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Mendeecees froze, his grip tightening around. The phone like it was the only thing keeping his entire life from collapsing. Sierra's eyes darted between them, her mind racing, trying to piece together what that meant. "Both of us?" she asked, her voice trembling. Erica stepped forward, unflinching. "Yeah, you think Miami was the only time? Please? He's been running the same game in Atlanta, LA, and even during your so-called couples retreat in the Bahamas. Only difference is, he made the mistake of leaving me a voicemail." Mendeecees' face went pale. "Don't do this, Erica." "Oh, I'm doing this," she snapped. "You called me the night before that retreat, saying you wished I was there instead of her. You said, and I quote, 'She's boring. You're exciting.'" The crowd erupted. Sierra staggered back, like she'd been physically hit. You said that?" she whispered, barely able to get the words out. "That's not how it happened," Mendeecees shouted, desperation creeping into his voice. "She's twisting it, twisting it." Erica barked out a bitter laugh. "Should I play the recording for them right now? Right now?" Sierra's breathing quickened, her vision blurred, not from tears, not yet, but from pure disbelief. This wasn't just betrayal, it was humiliation, served to her in front of cameras, producers, and half of Atlanta's nightlife scene. Mendeecees tried to push past Erica toward the exit, but Sierra stepped in front of him. "You're not going anywhere," she said coldly. "Sierra, listen to me. No, you listen." She exploded, her voice shaking the room. "You've been lying to me, sneaking around and making me feel like I'm crazy when you were the one playing games." Erica, sensing the opening, twisted the knife. "And he's not just lying about me. You know your girl Tasha? The one you brag about being your ride or die? Ask him where he was the night of her birthday party." Sierra's head snapped. Toward Mendeecees. "What happened that night?" Mendeecees looked trapped, his eyes darting to the cameras, the crowd anywhere but at her. "It's not what you think. That's what cheaters always say," Erica interrupted, smirking. "I was there, Sierra. Saw him leave with someone, and it wasn't you." The whispers in the crowd turned into a roar. People were leaning in, recording every second, some even streaming live to Instagram. Sierra clenched her fists. "Who?" Erica's smile was pure venom. "Why don't you ask him about the girl in the red dress? It's the one that works at that little hookah lounge on Peachtree." The name clicked in Sierra's head instantly. "Nia," she breathed, her voice cracking. Mendeecees' silence was all the confirmation she needed. Sierra's knees went weak, but she held herself upright, fueled by rage. "You've been making a fool out of me this whole time," she said, her voice low, dangerous. "And you think you can just lie your way out of it?" Mendeecees stepped toward her, but she shoved him back. "Don't touch me." Erica folded her arms, enjoying every second. "You deserve better, Sierra. But honestly, you should have seen this coming. Men like him don't change." "Shut up, Erica." Mendeecees snapped, his voice cracking. "You're just mad because I cut you off?" "Oh, you cut me off?" She laughed. "Please. I walked away because I got tired of being your dirty little secret. At least now the world knows what kind of man you really are." The tension was unbearable. A producer tried to step in again, but Sierra raised her hand to stop them. "No, let her finish," she said, her eyes never leaving Mendeecees. Erica leaned in, her tone shifting from smug to deadly serious. "That night in Miami, it wasn't just a one-night thing. It was the start of something. And if you really want the truth, Sierra, I wasn't the only one he was with on that trip." Mendeecees' face drained of color. "Oh, I'm going there," she said, "because while you were busy playing house with me, you were also messing around with someone you know very well. Someone who's in this very building right now." Gasps filled the air. Heads swiveled, scanning the crowd. Sierra's pulse raced. "Who?" Erica smirked. "Let's just say you two have shared makeup tips before." The implication hit Sierra like a gut punch. Her mind raced through every woman she'd ever hung out with, every so-called friend who'd smiled in her face. No, She whispered, double quotes, "Yes," Erica said, her voice cold. "Your friend Lauren?" The crowd lost it. Screams, shouts, people pulling out their phones like they'd just been handed front row seats to the messiest drama of the year. Sierra's face twisted in pain. "Lauren. My best friend Lauren." Mendeecees finally spoke, his voice desperate. "It wasn't like that. It was exactly like that," Erica cut in. "And I've got the photos to prove it." Sierra's heart was pounding so hard she could barely hear. She staggered back a step, shaking her head. I can't do this right now." But Erica wasn't finished. "You think this is bad? You haven't even seen the worst of it." Mendeecees lunged toward her, grabbing her arm. "You're not showing those photos." Erica yanked free. "Try and stop me." The crowd was in chaos now, people yelling, security pushing through to separate them. Sierra stood frozen, watching as Erica reached for her phone again, her thumb swiping furiously, and then the screen lit up, showing a blurred thumbnail of what was clearly an intimate photo. The image was enough to make the crowd gasp in unison. "Play dumb now," Erica said, her voice dripping with triumph. Sierra's breath caught in her throat. She wanted to scream, to cry, to run, but she couldn't move. Her entire world had just been ripped apart in front of strangers, cameras, and the two people who had betrayed her the most. And just when she thought it couldn't get worse, Erica turned the phone toward the nearest camera. The producer screamed, "Cut the feed!" But it was too late, because in the age of social media, nothing can be unseen. The image had already been captured. Screenshots were already spreading. And somewhere in the crowd, a voice yelled what everyone else was thinking. "Oh, this is about to break the internet." It happened faster than anyone could process. 1 second, Erica was holding her phone toward the nearest camera, and the next, the image was on at least 5 Instagram lives, a dozen Twitter feeds, and countless Snapchat stories. The crowd wasn't just reacting anymore. They were narrating, spreading and dissecting every pixel of what they saw. By the time security managed to separate Mendeecees and Erica, the damage was irreversible. The photo, a grainy but unmistakable shot of Mendeecees in bed with a woman whose face was partially obscured by her hair, had already been screenshotted hundreds of times. But for those who knew her, the hair, the nails, and even the jewelry were enough to identify her. Lauren, Sierra's best friend. Within minutes, hashtags like #LaurenGate, #Mendeeceesmess, and #SierraDeservesBetter started trending. Twitter was a war zone. Fans were posting side-by-side comparisons of Lauren's Instagram selfies and the jewelry from the photo. Comment sections were flooding with disbelief, anger, and for some, shameless excitement at the unfolding chaos. Sierra's phone buzzed nonstop in her clutch, but she didn't dare look. She couldn't bring herself to read what people were saying. Not yet. She just stood there, frozen, as the producers whispered frantically into their earpieces, debating whether to shut down the entire event or milk the scandal for ratings. Gold. Mendeecees tried to reach her, but Sierra stepped back like his touch might burn her. "Don't," she said, her voice ice cold. "Sierra, it's not what it looks like. Do you hear yourself?" She cut him off, her tone trembling between heartbreak and rage. "Everyone just saw what it looks like. Everyone." Erica smirked from across the room, sipping what was left of her drink. "Told you," she mouthed. The crowd was relentless. "Lauren," someone shouted. "How you gonna do her like that? We need Lauren here right now. Is she even watching this?" The speculation was deafening. And then, as if the universe was orchestrating the ultimate humiliation, Sierra's phone buzzed again, this time with a FaceTime request. The name on the screen? Lauren. Gasps rippled through the small group of people close enough to see the caller ID. Someone whispered, "Oh my God, answer it," like they were watching a horror movie and couldn't look away. Sierra's jaw tightened. "You have some nerve," she muttered before swiping to accept. The screen lit up with Lauren's face. She looked flushed, her hair a mess, her voice shaky. Sierra, I swear it's not what people are saying, really. Sierra snapped, angling the phone so Lauren could see the massive LED screen in the venue, still replaying a frozen frame from the leaked image. It looks exactly like what people are saying. Lauren's eyes widened. They weren't supposed to see that? She stopped, realizing her mistake. You mean it's real? Sierra said, her voice cracking. Lauren's silence was answer enough. Mendeecees stepped forward, trying to get in the frame. Sierra, listen. But Sierra dropped the call mid-sentence. The sound of the disconnect beep ringing louder in her ears than the music. She turned to him, her entire body trembling. You did this to me, to us. And you had the audacity to look me in the eye and lie. Mendeecees shook his head. You don't understand, no? She cut in sharply. You don't understand. I'm done. The words hit him harder than the drink she'd thrown earlier. His mouth opened, but no sound came out. The crowd murmured, sensing the finality. In her tone, Erica, never one to miss a moment, decided to throw the final grenade. Oh, and Sierra, you might want to check the rest of those Miami photos, because Lauren wasn't the only one in his bed that weekend. The crowd screamed. Security tried to push her back, but the damage was done. Sierra's chest rose and fell rapidly. She wanted to ask who else, but part of her didn't want to know. Not here. Not with half the city watching. Instead, she turned on her heel and started for the exit. The cameras followed, of course. Every step she took was documented. The trembling hands, the clenched jaw, the glint of tears she refused to let fall. Mendeecees called after her, but she didn't stop. She didn't stop. Didn't stop. Outside, the night air hit her like a slap. Flashes from paparazzi cameras lit up the parking lot. Reporters shouted questions. Fans tried to get selfies. Somewhere in the chaos, someone yelled, "We love you, Sierra. You deserve better." She got into her car without a word, slamming the door. Inside, the silence was suffocating. Her phone was still buzzing in her purse, the notifications piling up like a countdown to an explosion. And then, one alert caught her eye. A text from an unknown number. You think Lauren was the only one? Call me if you want the truth. Heart stopped. Who was this? Another woman? A friend? An enemy? Before she could decide whether to respond, her driver's side window was tapped. She jumped, looking up to see Erica standing there, a sly smile on her face. Sierra rolled the window down just enough to speak. What do you want? To help you? Erica said simply. You think tonight was bad? It's nothing compared to what's coming. What are you talking about? Sierra demanded. Erica leaned in, her voice low and deliberate. Mendeecees has been playing a game for years, and the people he's tangled up with, they don't just keep quiet. They talk loud. Sierra's stomach twisted. Why are you telling me this? 'Cause, Erica said, straightening up, I'm done being the villain in his story. But if you want the real truth, you're gonna have to be ready to burn everything down. Before Sierra could respond, Erica slipped a folded piece of paper through the cracked window. When you're ready, she said, then disappeared into the crowd. Sierra unfolded the paper. Inside was a list of names, 5 women. Some she recognized, some she didn't. Next to each name was a date. And a city daughter hands shook as she realized what she was holding. A hit list of Mendeecees' alleged affairs. And at the very bottom, underlined twice, was a single word. Next. She didn't know if Erica meant her or someone else. But one thing was certain. This wasn't over. And somewhere inside the venue, while Sierra's car pulled away, Mendeecees was on his phone, pacing furiously, saying just 6 words that promised even more chaos. She's not going to get away with this. And there you have it. The night that was supposed to be just another glamorous, camera-ready event exploded into the most humiliating, jaw-dropping, and career-shaking scandal Sierra has ever faced. A drink thrown in public. A confession from Erica that hit like a nuclear bomb. and a leaked image that shattered Sierra's trust in front of millions. And just when we thought the chaos had peaked, Erica slips her a list that could expose a network of lies so deep it might not just take down Mendeecees. It could destroy entire friendships, business deals, and alliances in this city. The internet is already on fire. Hashtags are trending. Celebrities are weighing in, and fan pages are breaking down every frame of that leaked photo. But the question, burning in everyone's mind is, what's Sierra going to do with that list? Will she go public and take Mendeecees down for good? Or will she use it to quietly dismantle every single one of his connections from the inside? And let's not forget that cryptic text from the unknown number could blow this story open in ways we can't even imagine yet. Trust me when I say, this is far from over. If you think tonight was messy, what's coming next could be the kind of chaos that changes everything for everyone involved. So here's what you need to do. Hit that like button right now if you want me to dig deeper into this scandal and bring you the receipts before anyone else. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Whose side are you on? And don't forget to subscribe with notifications on, because when the next chapter in this disaster hits, you're gonna want to be the first to know.